Hey everybody, Dr. Phil here. This is going to be a video on segmentation, target marketing, and positioning in the wider or broader context of marketing management. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So fulfilling customer needs and wants. So today's marketers can more precisely focus on specific customers and customer groups to offer products or services that have a clear and compelling value proposition for those customers. So this is achieved through market segmentation, target marketing, positioning, and as part of positioning strategy. So what is segmentation? So differentiation means communicating and delivering value in different ways to different customer groups. Not all customers are alike. There are subgroups of customers that can be identified on some basis of similarity. The subgroups will be smaller and more homogeneous than the overall market. The needs and wants of a subgroup are more efficiently and effectively addressed than would be possible within the heterogeneous full market. So, criteria for effective segmentation. Segment is of sufficient size to warrant investing in a unique value creating strategy for that segment as a target market. Basically, the juice has got to be worth the squeeze. That was number one. Number two, segment is readily identifiable and can be measured. Number three, segment is clearly differentiated on one or more important dimensions when communicating the value of the product. And four, segment can be reached in terms of both communication and physical product to deliver the value of the product, and subsequently can be effectively and efficiently managed. Now, with regard to effective segmentation, when considering segmentation, it's important to remember that an essential part of strategic marketing is not just identifying existing segments, but also creating new ones through product development strategies. The purpose of segmentation marketing is decidedly not to stereotype individuals. Now, geographic segmentation divides consumer groups based on physical location, but it's an insufficient segmentation criterion in and of itself. Popular approaches to geographic segmentation are by region, by density of population, by size and growth of population, and also by climate. Demographic segmentation can be done by age, for example, age in years versus attitudinal age, often not sufficient for segmentation. Also by generational group, because groups share similar values, and they're often defined by major events. Or by gender, looking beyond the traditional male and female, and sometimes looking at what they call gender-bending products. Also family and household, which is more complex than the past. And part of that we think about the family life cycle, possibly by race and ethnicity. The African American population is stable. The Hispanic, Latino, and Asian segments are growing. Or maybe income, which is frequently used, and use of credit drives purchases, so income may not be as important. We may also look at occupation. These are strong reference groups, and they may correlate with income. Education is another one we may segment by. This is a strong predictor of success, and uneducated consumers, unfortunately, are often duped. We also look at social class, so like lower, middle, upper classes and subsets. That can account for income, occupation, education. And easy credit has flattened classes. Now, a hybrid form of segmentation that considers both geographic and demographic factors is called geodemographic segmentation. Firms such as Claritas specialize in collecting data relevant to their geographic focus. Claritas PRISM database profiles every zip code in the US by demographic and psychographic methods. PRISM has discovered 68 what we call neighborhood types into which all zip codes fall, and of course has, categorized them accordingly, shall we say. Psychographic segmentation is sometimes referred to as segmentation by lifestyle or values. This relies on personality and what we call AIOs, which is activities, interests, and opinions. Behavioral segmentation divides customers into groups based on benefits sought or usage patterns. So benefits sought what are crucial value-adding properties of an offering, and this is a key starting place for segmentation. The usage patterns, it could be occasional, could be a usage rate like an 80-20 rule, and we could also, as part of that, as a subset of that, maybe look at the user status. Here we see sort of the segmentation variables. These are some of the key business market segmentation variables for demographic, industry, company size, location. Operating variables, we could look at things like technology, user status, customer capabilities. For purchasing approaches, we could look at purchasing function, organization, and power structure. Nature of existing relationship, general purchasing policies, and purchasing criteria. For situational factors, we could look at things like urgency, specific application, or size of the order. And for personal characteristics, we could look at buyer-seller similarity, attitudes toward risk, and indeed loyalty. So the three steps in target marketing are firstly to analyze the market segments, secondly to develop profiles of each potential target market, and then finally to select a target marketing approach. For positioning, firms must create, communicate, and deliver the value offering to the target markets by positioning the product so that customers understand its ability to fulfill their needs and wants. Positioning strategies are created using unique combinations of the marketing mix variables of product, supply chain, price, and, of course, promotion. And positioning studies often start with focus groups that develop a set of attributes. Next, surveys are developed that have respondents rate the attributes of the firm and of its competitors. And finally, the results of the survey can be analyzed through a gap analysis that shows not only gaps by attribute in importance versus delivery, but also gaps among the competitors in delivery. So you think about those sort of those items, those subsets, it kind of speaks to just how important positioning is. With those four P's, you could get everything else right, and you could get that wrong, and you could have a completely disastrous product, like it would flop. It wouldn't launch very well. Maybe it launched well, but then it quickly tapered off. So just sort of understanding how important positioning is when it comes to those four P's in marketing. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in a future video. Take care.